Let's talk all about how to win that Amazon buy box. If you're a seller on Amazon, then you know just how important winning the buy box is for getting sales. So in this video, I have 8 different strategies that I personally use to help me to win that buy box and increase my sales. Now stick around until the very end because the 8th strategy is something that people ask me about a lot. And that is, when should I drop my price? So let's get to it. These are the 8 ways that you can ensure that you are going to win the Amazon buy box.
Hi, I'm Cassandra Barney with Profit Guru. I'm a teacher, mother of 3, and Amazon FBA seller. Here at Profit Guru, we're dedicated to trying strategies out and continually improving our own software to help other Amazon sellers just like you.
So when a buyer comes onto Amazon to purchase something, they're not going to see any of this stuff here. These are just some extensions that I have as a seller. Now what they're going to see right here is this button that says Add to Cart. So whoever has the price right now set to $26.65, and if I wanted to get this and just clicked Add to Cart, that specific seller would be making the sale. Now let's see how many sellers are on this listing. So there are 7 sellers right now on the listing. So the one that has it priced right now for this price, anyone that clicks Add to Cart right now, they're holding the buy box, and that is going to be the seller that gets the sale. So you can see why it's important to have the buy box. All of these people underneath that seller, they're not getting any sales right now when someone's clicking that Add to Cart button because they're not holding the buy box. Now there are a lot of factors that determine who is owning the buy box. And in order to own the algorithm, you're really going to have to keep in mind all 8 of these strategies. Number 1, something super important to winning the buy box is having good account health. So with this, you're not going to want to have violations against you. Things like customer service, your defect rate, how fast you're shipping, as well as your return rate. So all of these things can add up and they stay on your account health for months at a time. So if you are getting all of these dings and these violations, you are not likely to be winning the buy box. On to the second strategy, and this one is a pretty big one. Amazon wants their buyers and their shoppers to be having a really good shopping experience. And part of that experience is paying a low price. So your pricing is going to have a big effect on whether you are going to win the buy box or not. Now, let me clarify by saying that the lowest price isn't a guarantee to getting the buy box. You don't have to be the bottom dollar price, but you do have to be in a competitive range of the buy box. So for example, if you're selling a product right now, the buy box is sitting at $7, that doesn't mean you have to go down to $6.90. At the very least, I would at least match the buy box as long as it's bringing me back profit, but I could even go up a little bit. It would be fine to say $8 or $9. What you're not going to want to do is jack it way up to $20 if the buy box is sitting at $7. So you want to have a really good competitive price, but that doesn't mean you have to be necessarily the lowest. Next, this is a big one, don't compete with Amazon. Now, I say don't compete with them, but I know a lot of sellers who say, I jump on the listings that Amazon's on and I'm fine, I make sales. Well, that's true. Amazon does share the buy box, but it's not very often. So if you're jumping on a product and Amazon is on that listing all of the time, yeah, they'll rotate the buy box here and there, but it's not going to be very often. So how I combat that is I don't even mess with listings that Amazon is on because I know 90% of the time they are going to own that buy box and get the sales. So if you can, don't compete against Amazon on listings. Number 4 is maintaining your inventory. If Amazon thinks that you can't keep up with the demand that customers are purchasing at, then you're probably not going to win that buy box. So make sure that you are looking at how many products, how many units are selling per month, and making sure that you have enough inventory in stock for sellers to be purchasing from you. Keep track of that inventory and keep it where it needs to be. The 5th strategy to winning the buy box is being an FBA seller. That means fulfilled by Amazon. So you can choose 2 different strategies to sell. You can be FBA, send your products to the warehouses where if somebody makes an order, they're going to package it up and send it off to the customer and deal with all the customer service. Or you can be FBM, which is fulfilled by merchant. This means that when a customer places an order, you are going to have to then create the shipping label and ship that product to them. The buy box is favored by FBA sellers. So
So if you can be an FBA seller and send your stuff to the warehouse, I would definitely recommend going that route. However, if you do prefer to be merchant fulfilled, they do get the buy box here and there, but it's definitely favored by FBA. You have to keep in mind if you want to do FBM that you have to keep your metrics up. So with this, if a customer places an order, you need to get that baby out as quick as possible, which is my 6th tip for you that are FBM. Make sure you're shipping things really fast and also that you are responding to customers very quickly because Amazon is paying attention to these things. So if you want to be an FBM seller, then that's fine if that's your strategy, but just know FBA buy box is favored. But if you're going to be FBM, then you need to be on top of your game. You need to be devoted to this business. If a customer inquires a question, well, you're handling customer service if you're FBM. So you need to make sure that you're responding back to that. If they open up a claim or if something goes wrong and they need a return, you need to be checking these things and responding to your customers, as well as shipping things to them in a very, very timely manner. The 7th factor that contributes into the algorithm is location. So if you are sending in FBA and the warehouse is in California, but somebody's making a purchase and they're in New York, well, you're probably not going to win that buy box because it's going to take longer to get that product from California to the buyer in New York. Again, Amazon wants the customer to have the best shopping experience, so they will have the inventory that is located closest to them and that can get to them the fastest as their buy box. And number 8, something that I think a lot of people know about but don't really know what to do with is repricing. So if you're finding that you're not winning the buy box, something to do is to go in and manually reprice it yourself. Now, what you're going to want to keep in mind is that you're not going to want to lose out on profit. So you need to know the bottom dollar that you can sell this product for in order to still get money back and not have it be a negative return on your end. Now, me personally, when I think about repricing, I think about a couple of things. The first one is the supply and the demand. If you are on a listing where there are 30 sellers and this item is only selling 5 units per month, well, clearly there's too much of a supply and not much of a demand. What's going to happen on those listings is those sellers, they're going to want to start moving their inventory and they're going to start pushing those prices down, down, down. Those are the types of listings that you're going to want to avoid if you are an arbitrage seller. If there is too much competition, then that's what's going to happen. The buy box is just going to plummet because all of these sellers are going to be competing for sales. There are too many sellers and not enough buyers. So that's something that I think about before I purchase my arbitrage items. How many sellers are on this? What I'll do next is I will look at the buy box price, but I'm also going to look at across time what it looks like it's selling for. So if the buy box right now is at $20.99, but I can see that recently it was selling for like $25, then when I first list it, I'm going to list it at that higher price. I don't like to go lower than the buy box because I don't want to discourage other sellers that are jumping onto it to keep doing the same thing and going lower and lower and lower. That's going to make it not fun for any seller to just be decreasing it. So that's what I always do at first. I'll look at what the buy box is and then where can I go up to? How high do I think this could sell for? If it's at $20.99 right now, but it was just selling for $26, I'm going to list mine probably between $25 and $26 and see if that buy box comes back up. Something else I'm going to look at is how many sellers are there underneath me at a lower price and how many of them are FBA sellers. So if my item isn't moving and I've had it at that $26 for a couple of weeks and it's just not going anywhere, I'm going to go in and investigate a little bit. I'm going to see, okay, where's the buy box at now? How many sellers have it for lower than that? And can I wait? That's another big factor to think about. If you are somebody who you have a lot of money tied up in this inventory and you can't afford to just sit and wait on it because you need that profit back to reinvest and keep growing, then you might consider lowering your price a little bit, making sure you're still getting profit back, but lowering it. Me personally, if there are only maybe 4 sellers under me and they have a total of, I don't know, let's say 15 items total, and I know that this product is selling 40 plus a month, I'm fine with waiting on it. I will keep my price firm at that $26 because I know historically across time, it has been selling at that point. I'm going to sit on it. I'm going to wait and see if these other lower sellers fall off because that's what happens a lot. They will go out of stock and then not come back in. So once they start falling off, now the buy box is coming back up and it'll eventually get to you. So Think about those things. How many sellers are underneath you? Historically, what's the buy box going for? And how bad do you need your profits back? If you need your profits back to start reinvesting, that's when you're probably going to want to lower it more. As well as if a ton more sellers are jumping onto this listing and you notice that the buy box is falling, then you're probably going to want to just get rid of your stock. Start lowering your buy box too so that you can hopefully win it. However, if you do have a lot of SKUs, manually repricing can take a lot of time to have to keep looking at all of your inventory. So that is when you might want to consider having a repricer. Now, I won't lie to you, repricing software is pretty expensive, but it's going to make you win the buy box so much more than if you're not doing any repricing at all. And it's going to save you a ton of time from trying to manually reprice hundreds of SKUs all on your own. So what you do with repricers is you go in and you set your filters for each product. Tell them exactly what you want for a product, and then it will start adjusting the price, and it won't go below what you tell it that you want back for profit. But it's going to watch everything and know when to up or lower your price in order to favorably get you that buy box. So I hope this was super helpful for you guys, because as an Amazon seller, if you want to make money, you need to be winning that buy box. If you're not holding the buy box, then you're not making sales. So by implementing these 8 strategies, they are definitely going to help you to win that buy box and get those sales. For more tips and videos like this on how to be a successful Amazon seller, make sure that you subscribe to the Profit Guru channel right now, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Bye.